Finally, last week I mentioned Dr. Mary Neal and her, I think I mentioned it on the show, and her near-death experience. And I said she had a book out. I was warned about that book today by a caller, so we're going to check that out. But it's really interesting. The person who sent me the link, and I wrote him, and I said, you know, I don't know if you're able to discern through the TV or computer that I'm a cynic, and I very rarely give video things like this attention, or books, very little time whatsoever. But this morning I decided to watch, and I'm really glad I did. And you know, I said I didn't really like Mrs. Neal personally, the way she is as a human, but I was intrigued by the honesty of her report about having died and having an experience with God after this life. And so I said, you know, my own cynical nature, I was humbled in the face of it, and I just thanked him again for sending that forward to us. Well, he wrote back and he said, a funny story in relation to your previous email. When I was on the final outs with the LDS faith, I've been waffling for a while and trying to figure out where I stood with Jesus, religion. My mom, also a former Mormon, asked me if I had ever heard of Shawn McCraney. I said no, and she proceeded to tell me about your shows and your sermons on the nature of God, the crucifixion, salvation, Christianity, the whole 9 yards. The conversation was interesting. I listened to her, but was cynical myself, because I associated Christians as Jimmy Swaggart types who oversimplified God, didn't understand the Trinity and his plan of salvation for men, and were out for the money to be made. So later that night, she emailed me one of your videos, Heart of the Matter. Before I started watching, the cynic in me was prepared for the usual pop Christian pap that is plastered all over TBM networks. I started watching and watching and watching more. I was blown away. You showed me what a Christian can be, what actually means, simple, overflowing beauty of it. The Holy Spirit was so powerful that I can say with a surety that after watching those videos, that first day I was born again, thanks a ton. The spiritual bricks hit me square on the noggin, and he thanks me. And isn't that interesting that he was cynical? He didn't want to watch the videos his mom was telling him to watch. He sends me a video years later. I don't want to watch the video he sent me. I watch it, and it changed my perspective greatly. Really amazing how God, he's working in and with us. He's reaching out to us, and he's doing all he can, I believe, to reach everybody with the good news, the great news, the fantastic news that he loved us so much, he sent us his only begotten Son, and that all we do is we believe on him, our life changes, it gets better for the better, and we move forward in faith.